Good morning, Anya. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you? Good morning.
Are you in school today? Do they have you in a special classroom?
Nope. I'm online schooled, so I'm home.
I was going to ask you about that online because my wife was a school teacher, and when we went through the COVID lockdown, she taught from a special studio that we built for her. How do you find focus in being online? Because a lot of her students couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's definitely like a difficult thing. You definitely have to be motivated and independent, and luckily I am. But I just try to block out my day, and something that motivates me is just knowing that if I get work done, I can continue my day doing what I love, focusing on music and stuff.
Do you get the time to go out and take walks and to basically socialize?
Yeah, you kind of have to create your own schedule, but I definitely make sure that's a priority.
See, that's my lifestyle, but I call it a Google Calendar lifestyle because it's like everything has to fit together. How do you plan out your day at the age of 17?
Yeah, well, it's tough, but you get the hang of it. This is my fourth year doing it, but I just kind of wake up, I start doing as much work as I can. I just kind of create my schedule for school specifically, and then I take breaks, songwriting, singing, practicing guitar, whatever I kind of want, and then just kind of whenever I need a break, I allow myself to, but I also make sure school is my first priority.
I call that the power of choice, and you have mastered that art in those 4 years.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's definitely taught me a lot.
Yeah. Being right there in San Diego, I mean, my God. I mean, how could you just stay at home if you live in San Diego?
I know, I'm very lucky. I live near the beach. It's very beautiful. I try to get out as much as possible.
Playing locally the way that you do, how is the voice on NBC going to change you? Because once the world has seen you, does local playing, is it still very important to you?
That's a great question. I mean, it's super fun. I think no one like stops playing gigs. Like even I think when you're huge, like no one stops playing gigs. And I love my town, so yeah, of course it's really important to me. But The Voice is by far the biggest stage, obviously, I've ever sung on. So right now my main priority is that. But I would love to continue gigs and hopefully move on from local gigs to bigger gigs,
I got to tell you, Anya, live music is so important to people here in the Carolinas that grocery stores physically have live musicians performing on certain nights.
What? That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah, what they do, a lot of these grocery stores now come with bars, wine and beer bars, and so to go with that atmosphere, that's why the musicians are invited in.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so much fun. I wish we did that here.
Well, it's community, and isn't that what you're all about as well? It's about the people.
Yeah, 100%. Like I love playing local gigs because it's a lot of like older generations that listen to like music that like I have to learn to be able to sing for them. Like I just love like community,
Yeah. How do you react when they start singing a song that you're performing?
Oh gosh. It's so fun. Like one of my favorites is Careless Whispers, and I remember I played once at like a bar kind of area, and like this one woman just like danced in front of me the whole time. I didn't know. It's just that energy. It just makes it more fun for me to sing it. If the audience is liking it.
You're talking about the George Michael song, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I played that on the radio. That song still to this day brings up so many incredible memories.
Oh, I love that song. It's one of my favorite songs of all time.
What is it that you feel from a George Michael song? Because that's a performer that the world can never forget. He can't become a part of that past. It's going to require people like yourself to bring his music forward.
Yeah, I'm lucky that my generation is definitely focusing right now on bringing all those musicians back. Like some of my favorites are like, like he's one of those people like Freddie Mercury or like Amy Winehouse. They can never be forgotten. So, if I'm lucky enough to be able to have a singing voice and like share that, and I want to bring back music like that.
I'm a mobile entertainer, and I'm blessed with the opportunity to play at many, many high schools for students such as you. And the thing is that Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, is always their go-to song.
I know, that's one of them. I think because it became a joke a little bit, everyone loves that song, and for good reason. That's an iconic song.
When do you know when to sneak in one of your authentic, personally written songs? Because, I mean, you've got these songs, these cover songs, but then when do you know to put in your song when you're performing?
Yeah, I think you gotta split it up. Like, I make sure not to do two slow songs in a row, like, I try to really split it up, make sure that I'm not only playing songs everyone knows, but also playing songs like that I love. And, like you really have to split it up so it doesn't get boring. I think any artist can agree to that. But yeah.
As a songwriter here in 2024, is it difficult to write songs that aren't connected to a Taylor Swift style? I love me some Taylor Swift, but I'm so afraid that everybody's going to do like what they did with the Beatles. Everybody's going to try to sound like the Beatles.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that Taylor's just like a huge inspiration, especially to young girls. Like she's obviously been a huge inspiration of mine growing up. But I definitely, I agree with you. Like, I think a big thing for me, I talk about it a lot in my blind audition, is sticking to my uniqueness and just trying my absolute best to like find my own sound. And I feel like I'm definitely taking a lot of my influences, and one of them being her, and putting them into my music. But for the most part, I really try to just stick to my own gut and own experiences when I'm writing.
Even at 17, you've got to have music tucked away. You go, I'm not feeling it all the way, so I'm going to put it to the side here for a moment. It'll come back to me on a different day.
Oh, absolutely. I'm dealing with that a lot right now. There's so much that like I want to record and put out, but also like songs that I've written like 6 months ago, and like I've changed even so much since then.
Yeah.
So like I'm really trying to like rework songs, and you know, it's the true life of a songwriter. Like a song's never done until it feels like it, you know.
Yeah, my biggest problem is that I'll do, you know, a concept of a song. I'll get it recorded inside the home studio, and then I'll take it to a professional studio, and then I want to change everything. I mean, fighting that perfectionist. Do you do that?
Oh, for sure. At some point I really have to like just let myself go a little bit and just kind of leave it where it feels right rather than where it sounds right, which is something that I've really been it's like a goal that I've been following recently. But yeah, it's such a, perfectionism is just such a tough concept, because if we're putting something out in the world, you want it to be perfect. But even like being on The Voice, this has taught me like, if you prepare and you work really hard and you're proud of it, like that's all that matters. Just like do your best, have your best performance, write your best song, and that's all you can do, you know?
You know, you sang that John Mayer song. Oh, my God. I swear to God, the way that you did it, it was like you wrote that song.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was a tough one because I never heard the song, but I think that's why it was so exciting to me to get it.
Yeah. John Mayer is one of those people that we really had to study him, because when he injured his vocal cords, he had to sit on the sidelines for a long time. What do you learn from a moment like that your vocal cords, if you injure them, that's it, man, you're in trouble?
Yeah, being on The Voice has taught me about that more than anything, you know? Like, I've always made sure vocal health is important, like warming up and everything, but like being on a national TV show, like that completely changed your perspective, because like you get sick for one day and you can't practice, you know? So it was really important to me to like use a nebulizer and, you know, drink a lot of tea and eat throat coat. Warm up the most you can. Like, it's crazy how important that stuff really is. Like, it really makes a difference.
If you could see what's in this studio, I've got so many different forms of liquid, because you've got to keep that thing oiled and moving forward. And the very second you stop doing that, all of a sudden you start getting that little raspy voice. Oh my God.
Yeah, and the scariest, like the last thing you want is like on stage day that to happen. So you have to be prepared for like months.
Oh my God, that really did happen to me. When I was in the studio to record my music, they go, "Oh, you do car commercials, huh? Let us hear your DJ voice." And so I'm sitting there impersonating a car commercial. I wrecked my voices. And the thing is that I couldn't do the vocals that day. I had to pay for the studio and never get the job done.
Oh no. Yeah, you gotta be careful there.
Oh my God. So working with Dan and Shay, I was with those guys when they were just in ball caps with no hair on their face. They were just two little songwriters that go, "I think we're gonna make it."
Oh my gosh, they're so incredible. I think the amazing thing about them is they never have like forgotten that version of themselves. That was like part of their pitch for me, like when they turned for me, was like we met at 17, and like that's just like a huge thing for me. Like seeing their growth since then is like, I don't know, it makes me feel like if I'm learning from people that have gone through that exact experience, I can too. And they're so just humble.
So like when, as a songwriter, what happens with all this information that you're receiving? Because I mean, it's coming at you so fast. How do you keep it, digestible?
Yeah, I think honestly online school has definitely helped with that. Just learning by yourself and kind of, I don't know, just being able to pick things up faster. But also like in a music standpoint, it's very different from school. I just stay as present as possible, even when the nerves are there, and I just try to soak everything in. I just want to learn as much as I possibly can.
I love it. You got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Thank you. I would love to. Thank you so much.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
Thank you so much.